Okay, I am standing here in this big vacant lot. Bunch of nothing, some garbage, some graffiti. Some of the graffiti, though, you may notice, says Moulin Rouge. And I didn't realize this before. I've been driving past this every day on my way to and from work, and Jody pointed out to me where it says Moulin Rouge, and I've looked it up. This was the first racially integrated hotel and casino in Las Vegas, but also for the most of America. We've got lots of fans here. Anyways, it opened in the second half of 1955, and it closed down by the end of 1955. And this is one of the signs here. We'll insert a picture that shows this was kind of a marquee that they had. Over at the Neon Museum, the Neon Boneyard, they have all the old neon signs, and they do have the original Moulin Rouge sign. Now, this was a very popular place. At the time, black people could perform at casinos. You know, Nat King Cole, for instance, he would be a headliner over in Vegas. He performed. He couldn't eat at the restaurants there, and he couldn't stay there. They'd have to come to the west side here and stay in boarding houses. Also, black people couldn't work at the casinos unless they were back of house. They couldn't be card dealers or anything like that. They had to work in the back, cleaning the rooms and working in the kitchens. So it was a big deal when they opened this, because black people could not only perform here and work in the kitchen, but they could be dealers at the tables. They could be showgirls, and they could also be guests here. They could come and spend their money and not be turned away. And on opening day, they had a lot of famous people here, including Tallulah Bankhead was one of the famous people that came on the first night, and lots of performers, including the Hines brothers, which was two young children aged 12 and 8, I believe, and they were tap dancers. The youngest was Gregory Hines, that you've probably heard of. They also had, they hired Joe Louis, I believe that's his name, a famous boxer. He was hired to greet people at the door. He would shake everyone's hand when they came in.
Harry Belafonte was the first performer here.
Yes, Harry Belafonte was here on the first day, as well as Tallulah Bankhead. Now, we are going to be visiting the Neon Museum, the Boneyard, and we're going to show you the original sign for the Moulin Rouge, which was actually designed by a woman. And we're going to check it out along with other neon signs.
Hey, Matt.
What?
Where are we going today?
Neon Museum?
Sweet! And we're picking up some friends.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to take those friends. They don't know where we're going. I think they're going to be excited to hear about where we're going. It's a big surprise.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can take any video there. I think you cannot. But we'll check when we get there. I know you can take pictures. Or I'm pretty sure you can take pictures. But we're going at 7:15. Which is when the sun starts to go down. So that should be super cool.
Mm-hmm.
To see all the signs. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
Nope.
It's just a glorified name for our storage area. And so the lamp that you see right there, that's going to be from the original Aladdin pylon that opened in the 50s. Does anyone know who got married at the Aladdin? It was Elvis Presley, Elvis and Priscilla, the king and the queen.
Or no?
It's Elvis Presley's star.
Telling the story of Las Vegas, which I'm super excited to share with y'all. Let's get started. This big yellow cutie, huh? Without cheating, because then I'll be out of a job, where do you think it's from just by looking at it? Look at this big turd right here in the middle. I'm just kidding. It's a golden nugget. It's from the Golden Nugget. Have you all been to the Golden Nugget in downtown? In 2019, we had our lighting ceremony and had one of the original Moulin Rouge dancers with us. Pretty cool, huh? You all ready to see more?
Yeah.
Come on down. Let's talk about Vineyard's Horseshoe. Vineyards in downtown? Yeah, we love Vineyards, right? Free parking? It's tax evasion. Here's where the museum has authorized a joke. And they're like, you can tell them that, oh, kill whoever you want, just pay your taxes. No, I said he wasn't so lucky because when they took down the sign, he burned. He caught on fire and burned. Sorry, Mr. O'Lucky. But yeah, so conservation efforts, we want to preserve it just as Sally's a part of our conservation efforts, we put chicken wire on the inside just so the critters aren't staying rent-free. Judging by Sass's, it's a little harder to manipulate. We can probably, like the Moulin Rouge, will use neon. It's the neon gas. But her best friend, argon, is more likely used in most signage because when it's ignited, it's a pale blue. So if y'all want to pivot, like Ross Geller, let's take a look at the Yucca Motel sign. So the Yucca Motel, all of its neon uses the gas argon. So when it's ignited, it uses a pale blue. So you're probably looking at it and you're like, Stefano, I don't see no blue in this sign. Well, that's because the phosphorus used in the Yucca part is going to give it that green illusion. On top, if you look at the plant, during the day, it's actually painted yellow. So then when the neon or the argon flows through it, the blue and the yellow makes green. It's like when we were in primary school, right? First appearance of Vegas Vic. Everyone say howdy, Vic! Howdy. Oh, that was a nice howdy. I'm sure he appreciates that. So this was his first appearance. His most famous appearance is going to be in downtown. So the Pioneer Club still has its signage there. It's no longer the Pioneer Club. Beneath the signage, they sell weed. That's a farce because we were a railroad town. It actually starts with an event called El Dorado. Originally an event that was in Tucson, Arizona. This event still happens today. But it was a great suggestion. The Chief Hotel Court actually opens as the Chief Hotel Court. So Motel Hotel is an example of a directional sign from an 80s business, Doc and Eddie's Pool Hall. Originally he comes to Doc and Eddie unpainted, but that just wasn't Vegas enough. He was designed to look like a lumberjack, also not Vegas enough. So when they paint him, do you notice what they put on his flannel shirt?
Palm trees.
Palm trees. They wanted to make him look like a lumberjack on vacation. Thanks, Mullet Man. Yeah, then in the 80s he was a directional sign, and today he is still a directional sign pointing right to Happy Shirt! Yeah, everyone put your hands in the air like you just don't care. So Happy Shirt is an example of an animated sign. It comes from a 60s small business called Steiner Cleaners. Mr. Steiner had a daughter named Donna. She drew Happy Shirt on a napkin. He loved it so much that he turned it into his business's signage. I like that story because my mom's name is Donna. Thanks, Donna. So if y'all want to pivot once more, we're going to take a look at the Red Barn signage. So we talked a little bit about women's history, right? When we talked about the plaza, we talked about integration when we talked about the Moulin Rouge. Now let's talk about a little LGBTQ history. So the Red Barn originally opens in the 50s in the shape of a barn, and it sold antiques. just wasn't popular in the 50s. Today we love a good thrift. Then it wasn't a lucrative business. So in the 60s it transitions into a bar. In the daytime it's serving straight folks, in the evening it's serving gay folks. All over the United States, gay folks knew that they can come to Las Vegas and they would have a bar to hang out at. And that's going to be the Red Barn. In the 70s it transitions to a completely gay establishment, being the first LGBTQ establishment in Nevada. It was home to the RB Bag, which was the first LGBTQ publication in Nevada, and it was home to the RB Follies, which was a popular drag show. In 1988, the Red Barn closes her doors, and then a few months later, unfortunately, it's burnt to the ground, and this is all that remains of the Red Barn. It's sat just enough feet away so that it can be salvaged and illuminating us with some LGBTQ history.
This is the Beetlejuice sign when Danny Elfman came here. Was it Danny Elfman? Came here and whoever did Beetlejuice. This sign is left over. I'll show it to you. They did a whole bunch of stuff here. Really cool stuff.
Maddie opens her business originally in the 20s out of her kitchen window. If y'all want to get closer, you can get her poetry and other things that he designed all within the Boneyard. So at the end, right behind my favorite ugly duckling, you're going to see kind of a dystopia of Vegas, and that's going to be inspired by Tim Burton's childhood in Las Vegas. He visits two hotels when he's a child mostly, and that's going to be the Dunes Hotel and the Stardust. So we'll see his main piece at the end of the tour, and that's going to be called Las Vegas signage. Yeah. So we're gonna move on to strip locations. We're gonna talk about this guy right here. I don't know if you can see him. He's not that big. We're gonna take a look at this sign right here. So his official nickname is, he doesn't have a nickname, but to me, I call him Bone Daddy. Bone Daddy comes to us from the 1993 Treasure Island Pylon. Treasure Island opens in '93, ushering in the family-friendly era of Las Vegas. We went from Sin City to, hey, we're for the kids. Makes no sense to me, but they were trying. So next we're going to talk about this piece of signage right here. It's not illuminated. I'm sorry about that. But it's pink, it's white. Here, and pay attention to why. The coming into the other tours, and I want you to get an opportunity to, I'll also point out this here lamp. That's going to be from the Aladdin Hotel. This is going to be the 70s version of the lamp. If y'all want to make rooms for the other hotels, 60 French dancers to open the show. It also featured acrobats and magicians. They weren't topless, I verify. They had a 100-foot waterfall, an indoor pool, wireless mics in the 50s, screens in the back so the performers knew when to go out. It was state of the art. This signage is not from the 50s, it's going to be from the 90s era. The Sahara Hotel in the 50s, when it opened, featured a really popular lounge show that had folks like Keith Martin, Louis Prima, and I love talking about Louis Prima as an Italian American. Do y'all know who this is? Yeah, maybe? Alright, I'm gonna hum a tune. Don't judge me. He does the song da 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 da. No? Yeah? Okay. And an embarrassment. But at the Sahara in the 60s, the Beatles stay here. They do not perform here, they just stay at the Sahara. The owners of the Sahara were in fear of the Beatles' fandom, so they wouldn't allow them to go down into the casino. But they showed pity on them by putting slot machines up in their suite so they can get that Vegas experience. So they performed in 1964 at the Las Vegas Convention Center. So we talked about Elvis Presley, right? Let's talk about his debuting location, and that's going to be here at the Frontier Hotel. The Frontier opened in the 40s. It's the second hotel on the strip, right behind the sold-out shows. Pretty impressive, right? All right, y'all, take a turn. Take a look at the Hard Rock Cafe sign. I know you're super excited about it. It's a popular one. If you stand right here, look at this. Stand right here. And if you use fisheye, you're going to get all of it. It's a good guess. This is a Gibson Les Paul. It's actually Pete Townsend from the Moose. It's his guitar. Folks who play guitar tell me that they know that it's his because the switch is on the left side, and he was a lefty. So again, it opens in 1990. It stands at a proud. This piece of signage, it was never a part of a hotel. He gives a little nod to the Dunes Hotel and the Stardust in this pylon. So the 4-point stars from the Stardust and the Dunes pylon outline on the outside. So here we are with La Concha. La Concha means shell in Spanish. It inspires the architect. Does the shape look familiar to any of y'all? Looks like the lobby we'll walk through, right? That is actually the original La Concha lobby. Opened in the 60s on the Strip. And then when the business closes, the family donates it to the museum. They took it apart piece by piece and brought it here to its location today. And this was a part of its original signage. Impressive, right? Just for a motel, but it was on the strip, so it needed impressive signage to draw folks in. You had the Riviera, the Caesar's Palace, so it needed good signage. The La Concha's lobby is designed by a man named Paul Revere Williams. Hopefully you all got an opportunity to check out his exhibit in the lobby. Paul Revere Williams was an impressive black architect, the first black architect to be indicted into the American Institute of Architecture. His work, the things that he's able to do, it will be decades until other black architects can do similar things. He designs homes for folks like Lucille Ball and Frank Sinatra, does the Los Angeles Saks Fifth Avenue building, the Beverly Hills Hotel. So pretty impressive guy. So impressive that he impresses the state of Nevada and the city of Las Vegas, and we celebrate Paul Revere Williams Day every 18th of February. The inaugural celebration was just this year, and we celebrated here in the lobby at the museum.
So I'm really glad that we got to take pictures and videos. I hope you like this little tour around. We drive by this sign over here, the Moulin Rouge, where that was every day to go to work. So that was kind of neat to see the actual Moulin Rouge sign that was only there for 1 year. So it was opened and closed within 1 year. Story behind that, and seeing these really cool old signs. I hope you enjoyed it too, and we thank you so much for this quick little fun adventure to the Neon Boneyard here in Las Vegas. We'll see you next time on Hungry Vegas. Bye.